So in this video, I wanted to talk about the Shadow Man. Now we know the Shadow Man is an apothecary. He has all the apothecary writing on his jacket. He had it in Shadows of Evil, and he also had it in the Revelations trailer. They're the only two places where we've really seen the Shadow Man. So the thing I want to discuss about the Shadow Man is the fact that, in my opinion, he had a plan all along. And I'm not 100% sure about what he wants to try and achieve. It might just be that he wants to cause pure chaos, or he might have an actual objective like Richtofen did. So within the Revelations DLC 4 trailer, we see the Shadow Man in a lot of power. He bursts out of the summoning key after persuading Dr. Maxis to come downstairs to pick it up. Bearing in mind this is the most powerful artifact in the entire of any universe ever, and he's able to wiggle this artifact while he's inside of it, which means he must be pretty powerful himself. He then persuades Dr. Maxis to come downstairs after he's putting voices in Dr. Maxis' head. One thing leads to another, Dr. Maxis picks it up, he's then swapping bodies with him. Now, the Shadow Man has a physical body. Not long after that, we actually see the Shadow Man bursting through some fences and then all of a sudden causes complete destruction across this universe in what I can only describe to be the area where the house is, because I'm not actually 100% sure whether this is the Ether, Agartha, or anywhere else like that. So I'm just going to call it the area with the house. But as you can see from this trailer, he causes complete chaos, he breaks this church, he breaks land apart, and he's the reason why in the multiplayer map Infection, for instance, you see the house on the rock on its own. That gets explained, as well as the Shadows of Evil scraps of paper. You also see the house again on a rock on its own. The reason that we see many of these rocks on their own is because the Shadow Man actually created it. He caused all of this land to be dispersed and broken up. You actually see this in the trailer as well. You see loads of different islands together, but also separated from each other. So these might be different parts of maps, and people have even speculated that they've seen Shangri-La and other maps on here as well. So obviously we know the power of the Shadow Man. He's able to literally rip apart universes and land masses and everything else like this. He can literally do anything by the looks of it. He is an apothecant, like I said, so that means he is in the category, the group of people, aka the apothecants, who, as Dr. Monty said, is the most evil, the most powerful beings in all of existence. In any universe, these apothecants are the worst of the worst. And the Shadow Man is in this category. He might even be the Dr. Monty of the apothecants. So the way that I see it is that we have Dr. Monty, who could be the god of zombies, like he's the nice guy and he's trying to help out the four original characters, although he might turn and he might actually become a bit more evil. But at the moment, I see him as a good guy, as like the nice god figure. Then we have the Shadow Man, who's a complete polar opposite of him, who's a really evil, really powerful man who is like the devil of this whole situation. So with all that in mind, the Shadow Man has all this power. Like, he literally can do anything he wants. If he's able to break apart universes and different bits and bobs like that, if he's able to control different apothecary beings and things like that, then why did he get trapped in a summoning key? Why did four random people who we never met before, who the Shadow Man probably never met before, why were they able to trap him inside of a summoning key, which they only found about an hour before they trapped him in there? So if you wasn't aware, obviously the quest on Shadows of Evil is purely to get the summoning key from the back of the truck and then do some rituals, and then the Easter egg is basically, in short, to capture the Shadow Man inside of the summoning key. The way we do this is basically by the time we get to the boss battle in the room with the Pack-a-Punch and then it shuts off and we have to shoot him, we literally just use weapons to shoot him inside of the summoning key. With all this power, it probably explains why he didn't just die, but also, what's the explanation as to why the Shadow Man wanted to be inside of that summoning key? If he has all this power, he could have teleported, he could have ripped apart that room, he could have done anything really. By the looks of it, he has a lot of power, he can do what he wants. But instead, he decided to sort of go with it and go inside of the summoning key. Was he aware of what was to come? Dr. Monty wasn't aware of the Shadow Man being in the summoning key, but was the Shadow Man aware of Dr. Monty or Richtofen or anyone else like that trying to put other people in the summoning key? Because at this point where the Shadow Man is being put into the summoning key, up until the cutscene of Shadows of Evil, Richtofen's trying to find his universe where he can grab it from so he can start his quest. For all we know, the Shadow Man could have the same type of powers as Dr. Monty. He could know everything about the universes, he might know why Max Ammo's drops, why there are gobblegums and everything else like that. Which, if it was the case, then obviously he would know about Dr. Monty telling Dr. Maxis to then tell Dr. Richtofen to capture all of these 1.0 souls and everything. And maybe the Shadow Man thought at that point that maybe I'll go inside the summoning key. Richtofen wouldn't know. Dr. Monty wouldn't know because it's a completely different universe and everything. And it's the way that Richtofen came in at the end of the cutscene and just grabbed it and left. He grabbed the summoning key thinking that it was empty, but there was also a Shadow Man in there, which, as far as we're aware, Richtofen was not aware that Shadow Man was inside. And one last point I want to make is the fact that we had the summoning key which was found in the back of a truck. The most powerful artifact in the entire storyline of zombies at the moment, in the entire of any universe, and it's found in the back of a truck in a crate. We don't know whose truck it is, we don't know anything like that, we don't know the backstory of why it was there. However, the Shadow Man might have had this possession, he might have had this artifact in his possession before Shadows of Evil. We know the summoning key has Apothicon writing on it, so it would sort of make sense because, like I said, the Shadow Man is Apothicon. He has this summoning key, he knows its power, he knows that people are after it, puts it in the back of a truck right below where he stands at the beginning of Shadows of Evil, as a sort of decoy, as a sort of a plot. He puts it there, he's like, come on, get the summoning key, use it, I want to get traps inside of it. This could have all been one big trap that the Shadow Man set up, and if it turns out to be anything like that, I'm actually going to flip, because that would just change the entire storyline in terms of how we'd perceive it. So just to quickly recap, in Shadows of Evil, he was very easily put into the summoning key. Even though he has all of this power, he could have done anything with it. Why did he go inside the summoning key? After seeing the trailer where the Shadow Man actually caused all this chaos, I really don't understand why he went inside of the summoning key. I don't believe he went inside of it because he was forced to. I believe he was put there because he wanted to go in there. I believe the Shadow Man had a plan of some sort. This is the Shadow Man's plan. I don't know what his plan is exactly to be the end of. We'll probably find out, or we hopefully should find out in DLC 4, as it's the last zombies map ever for this storyline. And there's a lot of questions, in my opinion, that needs to be answered, especially about the Shadow Man, because we don't actually know a lot about him. Between Shadows of Evil and Revelations, we haven't seen Shadow Man at all. In the Eisendrache and Zetsubou No Shima, in Gorod Krovi, the Shadow Man the entire time is within the summoning key, so we don't actually see him, we don't know anything about him, and if you wasn't paying close attention, you'd have probably sort of forgot that he was inside of there. But yeah, that's basically my thoughts. So Shadow Man has a plan of some sort, and we're going to find out in DLC 4. Let me know in the comments below if you have any ideas what his plan might be, or if you disagree with this, or if you agree with this, or anything else like that. I'd like to know your opinion. Leave a like on the video if you liked it. Go ahead and subscribe for more zombies content, and as always guys, I'll see you next time. Peace out.